Okay. So, touching base again, this is ANC 5G's administrative meeting or committee of a whole meeting. This is one of our meetings we hold prior to the public meeting 2 weeks from now. And we appreciate you coming out to be a little more in depth on your project that you have in ANC 5D. Um, you all participated in our zoning committee meeting. We appreciate that. And here we have more direct conversations with the ANC commissioners before we move to the public. So, Commissioner Arbuckle, if you want to take the lead on this conversation, and then I can pick it up when we go back to questions, since
Sure,
you already had the presentation, and just, go ahead.
sure. Well, I think the first thing would be, Garima, would you mind maybe sharing a little bit about the project to the other commissioners who haven't had a chance to see it yet?
Sure. Do you want us to present? We actually
Yeah,
have.
that'd be great.
Okay, sure. I can share my screen.
No, when my face looks red.
Are you able to see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So good evening, everybody. We are here to present on behalf of our applicant for the project 828 21st Street Northeast. The applicant is requesting two areas of relief. Number one, subtitle E 207.4, which is for a rear addition that is exceeding 10 feet past the adjoining neighbor. Second relief is subtitle E204.1A, which is to modify the existing architectural rooftop element, which we can discuss in a bit. The property is proposed to become a 3-unit multifamily structure with a 3rd story and rear addition. 2 units are proposed to be family-sized, 2-bed, 2-bath, and the 3rd unit is proposed to be a 1-bed, 1.5-bath. Outside the rear addition relief that is being requested, the rest of the proposed volume is designed to be matter of right as allowed in this zone. These are the existing images. So existing front and rear of the property, as you can see. And as you can see, the property that we are proposing already has a taller 2-story facade as compared to the reduced geometry and massing of the adjacent structures. This is the existing the existing site plan of the property. The property currently is about 26% lot occupancy, and the proposed is to be 60%, which is allowed in this zone. So this is the existing structure in the front, as you can see. This is the proposed site plan. And as discussed earlier, we are proposing 60%, which is allowed in this zone. And we are proposing an addition, which is to project 26 feet beyond the adjoining neighbors, and which would be 16 feet beyond what is allowed as matter of right. Again, the proposed footprint is conforming with the lot occupancy. The zoning code requires only 1 parking space for this development. However, the owner is proposing 2 compact parking spaces in the rear, as you can see, towards the left. There is a dedicated trash space at the rear of the property. We can discuss the floor plans as well if preferred, but we would just like to jump to the solar studies that we have prepared for this project. So on this sheet, we have done 3 studies for equinox, summer solstice, and winter solstice, and at different times. So on the top, you can see the MOR, which is the matter of right projections. And the lower diagrams show the proposed. The maroon brownish tone, that color that you see, are the excess projections that are the shadows that are being proposed. So this is for equinox in the morning and noon, so you can see the difference, and we can discuss later on, but we believe that the most of the shadows that are being proposed are those of matter of right. So this is again equinox showing at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The top images are the matter of right shadows, and the bottom shows the proposed, and the red the excess. These are the study for the summer solstice at 10 and 12. Again, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And you can see the limited shadows. Winter solstice in the morning at noon. Again, matter of right projections and proposed projections in the lower diagrams. And at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. winter solstice. So for elevations, the applicant is requesting for a special exception under subtitle E204.1, which is to modify the existing rooftop element in order to shift the existing mansard roof up to accommodate the increased second floor heights. And the mansard proposed is intended to be keeping with the neighboring structures. The brick facade at the front of the building is proposed to be maintained, as can be seen on the right diagram, and extended across the second floor expansion. So this is the cellar floor plan. We are proposing 3 units as discussed before, and all 3 units will have private entries. This is the layout of the cellar with the entrance to the right from the areaway. This unit has 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath, and an office, and has an area of about 875 square feet. The existing foundations in the basement will be underpinned to provide adequate head heights to the new cellar units. This is the layout for first floor. Both units 2 and 3 are duplex units. There are separate private entries for both units in the front. As you can see, 2 doors there. This floor is entirely dedicated to unit 2, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit with a primary suite on the upper level, which we'll see in a second. All the units are afforded with increased natural light through either larger windows or outdoor spaces like decks, balconies. This unit is about 1190 square feet. This is the second floor, which is split between unit 2 and unit 3. The front portion is dedicated to the living level for unit 3, while the rear portion is dedicated to the primary bedroom for unit 2. Again, every unit has access to outdoor space, full balconies or Juliets in front, as you can see. This is the layout for third floor, which is entirely dedicated to unit 3. This floor features both of the units, 2 bedrooms, as well as 2 bathrooms, and a family room in the middle. Again, all units have access to outdoor balconies, and this unit will also have access to private roof deck via an internal stair, which leads to the roof hatch above. So this ends our presentation, and we are open to any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm gonna go ahead and ask some questions. So were you able to contact Commissioner McCullum?
We were not. We have sent emails. There's no phone number for Mr. McCollum that we could reach. Although I have spoken with Mr. Salvador, and I'm greatly appreciate for to have this opportunity to present. Um, but no, so far we haven't been able to reach him.
All right. So on the matter of the relief for the like the projection in the back, I was wondering, have you been able to talk to the neighbor on the north?
Yes, so we haven't, but the owner, we do have some confirmation from the owner. They have spoken to both the neighbors and specifically to the neighbor in the north. And I just have her notes right in front of me. So she said that she has left her contact information along with the introductory letter. And she says that both immediate neighbors were super friendly and they acknowledged that the impact that this will, and the positive impact that this development will bring to the neighborhood. There is some development happening on the ends of the street, which is similar to this development. I guess we don't, yeah, I think she is speaking with those, both of those neighbors. And she's willing to have an in-person meeting if that is preferred.
Okay. Yeah, because when I think about it, like the only neighbor who would be potentially impacted really is the northern neighbor
Mhm.
from the shadows. So yeah, if do you think that that neighbor would like the northern property owner would be willing to like sign a letter of support for your project?
I think so. I think, as she said, I think the neighbor to the north is a woman who's living there. She's very friendly. And from I think from what I could recall, the owner did say that she was in support of the project early
Hmm.
when she spoke with the neighbor.
Hmm.
I don't have any recent communication other than what I've just said before. Um, but yeah, if she's present here or at ANC, we are happy to accommodate any requests that she might have if she wants us to present or have an in-person meeting with the owner. We are happy to oblige.
Yeah, I think that if you could get a letter of support from that northern neighbor, it would be quite impactful. I'd had some people had asked me about why you chose to elevate the like the front door, elevate it above, and have like an English basement instead of excavating the bottom level as like a pure cellar.
Mhm. Um, I think there were many design decisions that were made, and obviously the owner prefers to have these as family-sized units,
Hmm.
so need like larger ceiling heights, more, outdoor light and air. And because of certain design decisions that were made, I think the floor was elevated.
All right. Um, and can you
Can
just
I
clarify?
comment on that, Commissioner?
Yes, yes.
So, Ms. Gupta, I know the ANC most likely will not vote in favor of this project because of these issues. Since this project that you say that the decisions that made this design the way it is, those decisions are the reason why neighbors will be upset with the project, since it poorly marries with the look of the block. So since it's interfering with so much in terms of that front appeal, to not to distinguish itself as a new unit, but it just is just very out of place. And
Mhm.
to elevate it so much, it just seems like a very poor decision without interest of the neighborhood.
Okay. We are actually working on the front facade due to some internal again, some internal discussions and OP comments. And we are proposing to kind of lower that mansard that we are proposing. Do you think if we rework some of these elements to make it look more in line with the neighborhood, is that something you would be
You
willing
would
to?
most likely get more support if you could do that.
Mhm.
Because of
Okay,
the
yeah.
design, I understand that you want family size units, but if you walk on that block, it's very noticeable that these properties are very, very small. So to squish three large units in this specific property, it looks like a poor decision to not think about the interests of the overall look of the neighborhood. So I don't know if you need to redo some of the units, but if there's a way to make the front facade look more married to the look of the block, I think you'll garner more support. But I know with this look right now, it's not a good decision for us to proceed. But that is one of the main concerns from neighbors off of what they see.
Okay, yeah, understood. Definitely, we are happy to rework on the front facade, and make it more in tune with the neighboring structures.
Yes.
I believe the number of units will still stay as unit 3 because it's matter of right. We're not like,
Mhm.
requesting any relief for that. But yes, we can certainly work on the elements to make it more sort of like, pleasing to the eye,
Yes,
I would
yes,
say.
because we have older neighbors there. They've lived there for many generations. They're not gonna have the privilege to build something like this in their lifetime. So just to have something that just doesn't marry well with what the block already looks like, they're not in support of it. So if you can just hatch back on that design a little bit and see how it could um just blend in better with what's already there, I think you would have a stronger support.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we can rework on that. Yeah, definitely.
If I may, I just wanted to note that we actually were talking to the owner earlier today, and she had some notes on some revisions to this facade. She
Okay.
noted in her email in particular, I believe it's 802 21st Street, she said was a nice example of something we should be trying to look more in kind with. And there was another one on the block. I'm not necessarily going to name it here that she thought was not a good example. So I think that she is, as we're getting closer to this project, she's walking the block. She's trying to figure out how we can look better, how we can have the same types of materials and design. So I just wanted to bring that up as I think she also is identifying that this is not quite hitting the mark. So it's in our interest and our client's interest to work with you guys to make sure this fits in the neighborhood.
Perfect.
Um, Commissioner Salvador, do you have any examples of and you might not have any right now, but do you have any examples of something that might be more appealing to others?
Well, I think Ms. Stewart mentioned 802 21st Street. That's a good example to be looking at. It still seems to have that same characteristic of a lot of the properties on that block, but they've worked around still, meeting their new matter of right height requirements. But um, I think the property next to it, it didn't seem interested in meeting. That was also redeveloped next to 802. I think it's 804, and it looks like they didn't weren't interested in carrying that same type of I guess neighborhood vibe that the other properties have. So I think those are just major concerns, and these just come from experiences of a lot of developers coming into the neighborhood and just doing what they want to do. We're trying to control more of a sense of yes, bring in development, yes, bring in more units, but just try to marry with what we're already working with. So I appreciate you all sharing that the owner is interested in taking that route now, because it was just a major concern for me when I first saw the plans.
Absolutely.
Were there any other questions, Commissioner Arbuckle? I know you and our other zoning co-chair discussed the project.
I don't have any other questions. All I would say is I can after this I can send an email to with the things in writing. Um, and yeah, I think it would be if you can get like a some kind of like letter of support from the northern neighbor, I think that would help you. And then yeah, the facade, I think 802 is a good model.
And just for notes for the public presentation next month,
Mhm.
if you can do more renderings for us if possible, those are very helpful during the public meeting when the public's looking at what the project looks like. It's a little difficult sometimes since our meetings are virtual. It's a little difficult sometimes for them to view like the specs that a lot of architects give us. And we appreciate that information, but if there's more renderings, that's a lot more helpful for us the day of.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that.
Perfect. Are there any questions for us before we see y'all in April? And I think it's April 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
Yeah.
April 9th.
No, I think this meeting, we just wanted to know what concerns you have, and I think we greatly appreciate these, this feedback that we've received. We'll work on the revisions, we'll work on the front facade, and yeah.
Okay. And the quicker you guys can give that to us, the better so we can review it before the meeting
Sure.
so we can save time. And if we have any feedback, we can get that taken care of. Is your BZA hearing still on calendar for the 10th or the 11th?
April
It-
17th.
17th, got it. Okay. It's still on for the 17th. Okay. Well, yeah, if you all can, I'm sorry, if you all can give us any updated plans, sooner the better. I think we can make use of the time properly.
Yeah, sure, can do that.
Perfect. Well, if there's no other questions and if you need anything else, you know how to reach us. Ms. Gupta, Ms. Stewart, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank
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 you.
you so much. Appreciate your time.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
You too, thanks.
Okay, commissioners.
All right.
That was our one BZA matter that we have for April.
Mhm.
Remind us, Commissioner Arbuckle, if we were looking at having something else.
No.
Okay,
Not for the BZA.
got it. Perfect. Okay. Well, other than that, I'll let y'all go. Sent a few emails out for the public meeting. If you need me, you know how to reach me.
All right, thank you
Y'all
so
have a good
much.
night.
Bye.